First of all, thank you very much, Carl, for joining us once again. So it turns out that President Trump has ordered two nuclear powered, we don't know if they're powered or what sort of submarines are they, to be, I quote, appropriately positioned in a region near Russia. What what is happening?
Okay, well, this was in response to the former Russian president Medvedev's tweet. Now, for people who don't know, Medvedev, ever since his retirement, he's basically making a career to be a king of the shit posters on X. I mean, I really enjoy his shit posts. By the way, he have very bombastic tweets. But uh, this apparently was. Uh, Now alarm Trump because Trump himself. Okay, I'm working, Casey. I'm working. Sorry, my
No
son just
problem.
came in. Can you give me 1 second?
Yeah,
Let me
yeah, yeah,
send him
take your
to his
time. Yeah,
mother.
yeah.
So yeah. Okay, Trump sent two nuclear submarines. What we don't know is whether they're nuclear power or they're armed with nuclear weapons. Usually, the American nuclear submarine fleet uh, they serve the purpose as strategic weapons. As in, they will carry strategic nuclear warhead because they will be undetected undersea, so they can fire their nukes before they get detected. That's the idea. Now, what really triggered this off was a series of fire tweets from the former Russian president Medvedev. Now, for people who don't know, Medvedev, ever since his retirement from the office of presidency in Russia, he has taken on the post of be a ship posting king on X. I mean, I really enjoy his very fiery tweets. But apparently, I'm not the only one. This Trump has set up and taken notice because guess what? Trump himself is a ship posting king on X. So, and Trump, and Trump cannot allow a rival on X. So this is really what happened. Like Medvedev had been tweeting like that for years, and the latest tweet he was tweeting in particular to the Trump threat of slapping Russia with more sanctions, and he gave Russia 10 days ultimatum to agree to a ceasefire over Ukraine, and and okay, so which is ridiculous because what are you gonna do on Russia? Are you gonna raise the tariff to like 1,000%? I mean, it doesn't matter if you can raise the tariff to 10,000%. 10,000% of zero is still zero. There's already U.S. sanction on Russia. How can you sanction Russia even more? Right? That's first of all, that is ridiculous. And the whole 10-day ultimatum thing is it's also ridiculous because Russia is winning on the battlefield. This is what U.S. does not like to see, and Russia do not want to have a temporary ceasefire the way it was done back in the Minsk Agreement 1 and Minsk Agreement 2, where the West just took the opportunity of ceasefire to build up Ukrainian armed forces for round two, for the second match. So that's what Russia want to avoid. Russia want to resolve this very existential problem to its own security once for all. They want to guarantee Ukraine will not be in NATO. There will be no NATO troops at the soft underbelly of Russia. If those conditions are not met, Russia will meet those conditions on the battlefield. And this is what Trump failed to understand is he doesn't have cards in this negotiation. This is so there he's threatening Russia the only way he knows how. It's like, oh, I'm gonna slap tariffs on you. Well, good luck. And Medvedev was responding in that threat. Now, Trump doesn't like to be don't be like to be threatened back. So he's now sending nuclear submarine to Russia. But seriously, what are those nuclear submarines going to do? I mean, nobody expect them to launch nukes against Russia. A preemptive, what, you're going to do a preemptive strike on Moscow? Nobody thinks that's going to happen. So essentially, this is just a manifestation of a Twitter fight into the real world. All it shows is that Trump is not a serious person. He's this is not a serious person that's sitting in the White House, ostensibly the leader of the free world, of the quote unquote most powerful country in the world. I mean, this guy is acting like a child. So yeah, that's what's happening.
So, what is the response from the Russian side? We see no response till now. I mean, they're all chill.
Why would they? I mean, Medvedev, he doesn't. Uh, he's really not even participating in most of the decision making in Russia at this point. Besides serving a ceremonial post on the National Security Council, but his main job nowadays is posting on X. And why would anyone take the X post seriously other than the U.S. President Trump? And nobody should take Trump's X posting seriously
Yeah.
either. Like I said, what is those nuclear sub gonna do? Even in waters near Russia, like they are a threat because they are because their capability, the nuclear submarine, they're much more quieter, they're harder to detect, they can serve underwater a lot longer than conventional diesel submarines, and and some of them are armed with strategic nuclear warheads. Now, well, if you're not going to fire them, then they're just a piece of they're just a piece of metal underwater. Why would Russia respond to that?
But he really got under Trump's skin. What did he say that that made those submarines like go into Russian waters?
I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's because Russia, because Trump is so easily triggered, right? That i- in Trump's world, in America's world, only America is allowed to beat its chest and threaten everyone else. Nobody's allowed to threaten America back, and this is a fundamental issue here. This is why Trump is so upset
Though
that
Trump was threatening
at a
Tehran,
tweet.
Trump was threatening Tehran, the Ayatollah, like openly on Twitter, and I don't
Uh,
know.
Trump is not a Trump is not a serious person. I mean, like people now understand we can always count on Taco Tuesday. Trump always chicken out. So this is why the Russian government have made no official comment on this. They don't need to. Why? Like this is such so childish.
So I think he said something about the Russian defense nuclear system perimeters, which is operated without any human interaction, and it's actually a doomsday weapon. Like they fire it right; it's the last card in their deck. So I think he said something about
Ru-
that.
ru- this is the thing. United States right now, they cannot win. They cannot win against Russia. They cannot win against China. Actually the only cards they have is a nuclear card. The only thing they could do is plunge the whole world into nuclear Armageddon. Then everybody gets screwed. But it's an empty threat. Nobody will take them seriously. Russia has more nuclear weapons than United States, by the way. People need to remember that. US is not going to win. Nobody wins in a nuclear exchange, but especially not United States. And so this is this is just one of those Trump tantrums that that people shouldn't even give it a serious thought. It's the only question people should ask is how the heck does a reality TV host get to become the president of the United States?
Oh God! So there's a special envoy. Steve Witkoff is also expected to arrive in Russia like in 2 to 3 days. I don't know what they're gonna do there now when submarines are almost.
they they're gonna have to perform a miracle to kind of repair the Russian U.S. relationship and put it on the right track. Well, right now, all that. Remember, I'm old enough to remember Trump had made a promise he's gonna shut down the Ukraine war 24 hours within him getting elected. Well, it's been it's been more than half year already, and I said this before his after his election, Trump is not going to win this one. Even if Trump wants to improve ties with Russia, the deep state wouldn't let him. And Trump never wins against the deep state. Trump hasn't won against anything. The the thing is, people like Trump and Trump's advisors needs to understand the world where U.S. Says jump and everybody asks how high, that world is gone. And that only happens with Europeans. That only happens with the European vassals, and maybe like Japan and Korea. Oh, not even Japan and Korea. Japan is already pushing back against the Trump tariff. So it's yeah. Other than Ursula von der Leyen and all those European bureaucrats that have been put in power by Washington, nobody is paying any mind to this madman's raving from Washington.